First time we've ever been quiet without me banging here. Good afternoon. I'm going to start tonight's June 11th meeting off with a public hearing. We have the county attorney read that.
Notice of public hearing. Please take notice that the Oswego County Legislature of the County of Oswego will meet at the Legislative Chambers, 46 East Bridge Street, Oswego, New York, 13126 at 7 p.m. on the 11th day of June, 2026, for the purpose of holding a public hearing on local law number 4 of the year 2026, entitled "A Local Law Providing for the Partial Exemption of Certain Real Property Owned by Persons 65 years of age or over," by order of the Oswego County Legislature, May 14, 2026. Betsy Sherman Saunders, Clerk, Oswego County Legislature. Any persons interested in speaking on proposed local law number 4 of 2026, please come forward and state your name.
Darn.
Okay, I'm closing the public hearing, asking it be declared closed at 7:05 p.m.
Thank you. And the next?
Notice of public hearing. Please take notice that the Oswego County Legislature of the County of Oswego will meet at the Legislative Chambers, 46 East Bridge Street, Oswego, New York, 13126 at 7 p.m. on the 11th day of June, 2026, for the purpose of holding a public hearing on local law number 5 of the year 2026, entitled "A Local Law Amending Local Law number 4 of 2022, Permitting ATV Use on Certain County Roads," by order of the Oswego County Legislature, May 14, 2026, Betsy Sherman Saunders, Clerk, Oswego County Legislature. Any persons interested in coming forward to speak on the proposed local law, please come forward and state your name.
Darn.
I declare that the public hearing be declared closed at 7:06 p.m.
Thank you. This time we will open up the regular meeting of July 11th. Would the clerk please call the roll?
Michael Yurden.
Present.
Herbert Yurden.
Present.
Edward Gilson.
Here.
District 4, David Holst. At this time, I would like to ask everyone to join me in a moment of silence in memory of our friend, colleague, and fellow legislator, David Holst. Dave was a dedicated legislator who cared deeply about our community. His commitment, integrity, and friendship left a lasting impact on all who had the privilege of knowing and working with him. Let us take a moment in honor of his memory and the many contributions he made to Oswego County. Thank you. Roy Rehill.
Here.
John Martino.
Here.
Frank Lombardo.
Here.
Paul House.
Here.
James Weatherup.
Here.
Mary Ellen Chesbro. Here. Linda Lockwood. Here. Richard Klein.
Present.
Patrick Twist.
Here.
Stephen Walpole.
Here.
Lee Walker.
Here.
Christine Novak. Here. Dorothy Caldwell. Here. Robert Wilmot.
Here.
Marie Shaw. Here. Paul Conley.
Here.
Noel Samuelson. Here. Joseph Bartolini.
Here.
Michael Soloway.
Here.
Gina Bartlett. Here. Ryan Taylor.
Here.
Mr. Chairman, that's 24 present. You have a quorum.
Thank you. Would you please lead us now in the invocation?
As we come together today, we should be thankful for today's blessings, its opportunities, and its challenges. May we appreciate all those who have come into our lives, and may we have strength and guidance to handle each day as it comes. Make us strong in our hearts, that which unites us, and build bridges across all that divide us. Give us the strength we need to give our best always. Amen.
Now the Pledge of Allegiance by Legislators Chesbro and Bartlett.
I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. I trust we've had a moment to look at the minutes of the regular meeting on May 14th.
So moved. Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Moving to proclamations and recognitions, could I have Jennifer Miller, Kevin Pooley, and the Public Safety Committee please come forward?
So want you guys to stay where you are. I want you guys to scoot you a little bit. Just right here. Scoot you a little bit. Big smiles. On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. And a second. 1, 2, 3. Perfect. Thank you.
Thank you for all your presentation.
So Jennifer's been, it says 29 years on the agenda, but Jennifer's actually had a couple more than that. She told me today she's actually going to end up being a total of 1 month shy of 35 total. So she started with the county back in '92 with DSS, I believe, if my information was correct. But spent 29 years in 911. And 29 years as a 911 telecommunicator is a pretty special achievement, that's for sure. You know, it's not just a Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. You know, it's 7 days a week, working on nights, you know, working on weekends, working on holidays, you know, all that stuff. And Jen's been amazing. If you've, hopefully nobody's ever had to call 911, but if you have, you know, you got a high probability that Jen was one of the people that answered the phone and our dispatch law enforcement to help support you. She's done an amazing job, and keep trying to get her to stay for another few months, but she won't even give me a couple months. So, but definitely well deserving. Congratulations.
Thank you. Do we have Erica Schreiner in the Economic Development and Planning Committee please come forward?
Oh, yes, King Captain right here.
I'm gonna have everybody scooch in, like kind of angle yourselves like this. Perfect. Good, good. Perfect. Mary Ellen, don't you turn the proclamation around, we'll do a photo, and then you can read it.
All right.
All right, everybody ready? All right, on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. And a second. 1, 2, 3. Perfect. Thank you.
You. Okay, Oswego County Legislature. The Oswego County Environment. First place, G. Ray Bodley High School. Now, is this the first time you've had the first place? Oswego City, Oswego usually does it, don't they? So this is good. This is these guys. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Whereas a community is created by the hearts of its citizens, sustained by those dedicated to the prosperity, and inspired by the special heroes of everyday life. And whereas the G. Ray Bodley High School competed in the 34th annual Oswego County Environthon at Selkirk Shores State Park at Camp Irving, Town of Richland, on May 7th, 2026, placing first in overall performance out of 7 other county teams. Whereas G. Ray Bodley competed in New York State on May 27th and 28th 2026 at the State University of New York, in Cortland, New York, placing 23rd out of 39 different teams. Whereas the Envirothon, coordinated by Oswego County Soil and Water Conservation District, it's a hands-on outdoor environmental education competition that tests the knowledge of students in subject areas such as aquatics, current environmental issues, forestry, soil and land use, and wildlife. I have attended one of these, several of these myself, and it's fascinating, hands-on, what they have to know before they get there to be able to answer the questions. It's awesome. Whereas the G. Ray Bodley team was made up of Matthew Becker. Matthew, thank you, Matthew. Aiden Kuzik. There's easy. Alan Craig, captain. Kayleen Miller. Cameron Trail. Not here. Not here. Okay. And guided by advisors Ryan Brown and Dan Mainville. Whereas the G. Ray Bodley team is an example of dedication, commitment to our environment, which is so important. We only have one. We can't make more Earth. And it's inspiring, and it deserves our proud attention to the community recognition. So now, therefore, be it resolved that James Weatherup, as the chairman of the Oswego County Legislature, on behalf of the entire legislature and the people of Oswego County, do hereby recognize G. Ray Bodley High School and commend each student, team advisor, and families for their efforts, guidance, and support, and bring this youthful inspiration to our grateful community. Thank you, guys.
District, we would just like to thank these students and commend them for taking this Envirothon event on in addition to their normal coursework in high school. 2 of the team members are graduating. We wish you success. For those who are still going to be coming back next year, please bring your friends and join us for the 35th annual Oswego County Envirothon.
Yeah, hope to see you guys next year. Now, call. Gary Munn. Come on, let's have one of these section up here. You guys know everything about it.
Perfect. Maybe you guys all switch in just a little bit, please. Thank you. All right. On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. And a second. 1, 2, 3. All right, thank you.
Thank you. Oswego County Legislature proclamation, and we proclaim that June 2026 as Dairy Month. Whereas June is the month when nature bestows upon us her most nearly perfect weather. A little hot, though. And so it follows that June is also the most fitting month to celebrate milk, nature's most nearly perfect food. As a past dairy farmer, I always referred to milk as the nectar of the gods. Love milk. Whereas the wide and varied agriculture of New York State directly and indirectly employs almost 500,000 people, with dairy farming ranking first in agricultural income. That's a lot of milk. Whereas the dairy industry in Oswego County is a significant contributor to over 94,000 acres of agricultural land, with a market value of land, buildings, equipment, and cattle worth almost $200 million. Whereas June is traditionally identified with the delicious idea of eating refreshing and nutritious dairy foods, like ice cream. Now, therefore, James Weatherup, Chairman of the Oswego County Legislature, on behalf of the entire legislature and the members of our county, June 26th is Dairy Month in Oswego County, and propose a salute to milk, the beverage that has helped our children grow taller, our adults to become more vigorous, and our senior citizens to enjoy the longest, most productive lives in the history of the world. Go milk. Okay, thank you.
Just a couple of quick comments. Farming in general is a very difficult occupation. A lot of hours, long time in the field, but there is a special salute to dairy farmers because I believe they are the hardest working farmers out there. They really are. The number of hours they put in, long before the sun comes up, they're out there doing their thing. And so we really salute them for what they do and everything that they do to make this available to us. Just great products, great people, hard workers. We have some treats in the back for everybody. Please, everybody that's here is welcome to have some. There's a wide assortment of different cheeses, and there's milk. Please enjoy on us. Okay?
Thank you, everybody, and do enjoy the
Thank you. Any introduction to visitors? Thank you. Public speakers and resolutions today, Legislator Martino. Thank you. At this time, I'd like to invite Chance Kennedy to come forward to speak on resolutions HS 1 through 5. Thank you. You have 5 minutes. Not 5 each. 5 total. All right. Thank you.
Chairman, legislators, thank you for the opportunity to speak. Tonight's agenda includes several resolutions, HS 1 through HS 5, focused on reclassifying positions within the Department of Social Services. On paper, these resolutions look routine. They reference high turnover, the need for continuity of services, and the importance of retaining qualified staff. And notably, most of these classifications carry no additional financial impact for the county. A few even save money. But that fact alone tells a deeper story. The only way DSS can absorb these salary adjustments without increasing the budget is because the department has been operating with far too many vacant positions for far too long. Budget lines get unspent not because the need isn't there, but because the county has grown accustomed to seeing DSS vacancies as a quiet, convenient piggy bank, money that can be redirected elsewhere while the department struggles to meet its own basic responsibilities. This approach has been risky for years. Now with the local impacts of the BBB, Big Beautiful Bill, set to hit the summer and into 2027, it's about to become dangerous. Under the new federal requirements, Medicaid and SNAP redeterminations will occur twice as often. This means twice the paperwork, twice the verification, twice the case management, and twice the pressure on a workforce that is already stretched thin. This is not theoretical, this is not optional, this is federal law, and it is coming fast. If DSS is not adequately staffed, and right now it is not, The consequences will fall squarely on the people of Oswego County. When workers are overloaded, burnout rises. When burnout rises, turnover rises. And when turnover rises, families lose benefits simply because their redetermination application cannot be processed on time. This means lost health care, lost food assistance, lost stability, not because people did anything wrong, but because the county failed to plan. Oswego County cannot control federal legislations, but it can control whether it prepares for the local impact of that legislation. And preparation requires more than approving reclassifications that shuffle titles around without addressing the underlying problems. Preparation requires a commitment to fully staffing DSS, not as an afterthought, not as a budget balancing tactic, but as a core responsibility of county government. For years, the county has relied on DSS vacancies to quietly patch holes elsewhere in the budget. That practice has already strained the department, but with the big beautiful bill changes coming, the chickens are about to come home to roost. The workload is increasing dramatically and the margin for error is shrinking. If the county continues to treat DSS as a place to save money instead of a place to invest in people, the consequences will be felt by thousands of residents who depend on timely, accurate, compassionate service. HS1 through HS5 may be small steps in the right direction, but they are not enough. Not for what is coming, not for what this community deserves. I urge this legislature to stop managing DSS by vacancy and start managing it by need. The people of Oswego County are counting on you to plan ahead, not after the crisis hits, but now, while there is still time to act. Thank you.
Thank you. Reports of county officials. The reports of standing committees.
No, wrong one, sorry.
Reports of special committees.
Yes.
Legislator Judge.
Mr. Chairman, I would just like to remind everybody, on the back table, there should be some information about our tourism, one of our biggest things that we have here in Oswego County. And this month, we have everything from rodeos, regattas, wrestling and racing, as well as festivals, fireworks, and don't forget Oswego County Fair. Please pick up one of these. I think you'll be interested in what you can do. So never say I don't have anything to do. Put the phone down and go out and check it out.
Thank you. Legislator Walker.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'd like to take this opportunity to, got a phone call from the city of Oswego about a week ago with high grass at the county properties that we own in the city for this auction that we got coming up. And they asked me if I could look into, see if we could cut the lawns, and some of the lawns are knee high as we looked at one today. And I'd like to thank Rick Doughton of B&G for doing an outstanding job for him and his crew going there and taking care of it and taking care of all the lawns until this auction's over. All the neighbors are greatly appreciated because, you know, like I say, the weeds were knee high, and now we have one more that we have that he's going to take care of tomorrow. And I'd just like to thank him and his crew for helping out. Thank you.
Thank you. Moving on to resolutions and motions. Resolution GC1 by Legislator Mike Yurden.
I offer this resolution and ask for your support.
Will the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution approving and confirming the sale and transfer of certain foreclosed tax property pursuant to RPTL 1166.
Mr. Chairman, I believe this needs to be amended to add 23 more properties.
Thank you. Is there a motion? Motion.
Second.
Thank you. Any discussion on the amendment? I think you've all got it in your packets, right? We discussed it before the meeting. Thank you. Any discussion, any more discussion on the amendment? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 24 in favor and 0 opposed on the amendment.
Thank you. Back to the original resolution then, as amended. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 24 in favor and 0 opposed.
Thank you. Resolution GC2 by Legislator Michael Yurden.
I offer this resolution and ask for your support.
Will the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution adopting County of Oswego Local Law Number 4 of 2026 entitled A Local Law Providing for the Partial Tax Exemption of Certain Real Property Owned by Persons 65 years of age or over.
Thank you. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 24 in favor and 0 opposed.
Thank you. Moving then to public safety, resolution PS1 by legislator Conlon.
Mr. Chairman, I offer this resolution and urge its adoption.
Will the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution authorizing the Emergency Management Office to accept funding from New York State Department of Environmental Conservation Climate Start Communities Grant.
So Oswego County's been awarded $171,060 in grant funding from New York State Department of Environmental Conservation under the Climate Smart Community Grant.
Thank you. Any discussion? Legislator Shaw.
What are the plans for that funding?
So the purpose of the grant is to enhance climate smart communities through improved climate adaptation and emergency preparedness through EMO submitted a project goal study, strengthening emergency response operations by developing deployable emergency resource caches, improving mass care capabilities, expanding public access to early warning systems, and increasing preparedness resources for vulnerable and disadvantaged populations.
Thank you. Any other discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 24 in favor, 0 opposed.
Thank you. Resolution PS2 by legislator Conlon.
Mr. Chairman, I offer this resolution and urge its adoption.
Will the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution authorizing the reclassification of one position in the E911 department.
Okay, this is, we have an existing part-time GIS, which is Geographical Information Specialist position. Within the E911 department, we want to reclassify it to a 40-hour week to a grade 11 due to, as we're growing, accurate GI information is now essential to properties, identifying the local locations of 911 towers.
Thank you. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 24 in favor and 0 opposed.
Thank you. Resolution PS3 by legislator Conlon.
Mr. Chairman, I offer this resolution and urge its adoption.
Will the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution authorizing creation of one position in Oswego County Sheriff's Corrections Division for corrections officers.
Okay, so this is, the jail is currently operating nearly full capacity and they're understaffed with 6 vacant positions. So what this position is going to do is creating a position recommended by the New York State Department of Corrections Community Supervision will allow the correction division to comply with new requirements. Creating the position will also lower institutional risk because having specialized staff reduces dangers associated with moving high-risk prisoners throughout the jail. I'd also like to note that without this position, there's chances that we could be fined.
Thank you. Any discussion? Legislator Gilson.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. For those that haven't had the opportunity to tour the jail, county jail, let me just inform them that I have, and it was an eye-opener. A very difficult, very dangerous situation for these individuals. I highly recommend we pass this to give them the additional help that they need to stay safe and to keep the pressure safe.
Thank you. Any other discussion? Legislator Noel.
I just am confused because there's 6 open positions and we're adding this up. And I still don't understand exactly how that helps us.
So with the 6 positions that we have, when I talked to the sheriff, we're just basically doing a reclassification to,
Legislator Conlon, we have under Sheriff Toomey here that may be able to answer that as well.
I didn't hear how you were answering exactly what the question is.
Well, my question, and I asked it to me, and I still don't get it. So there are 6 open positions, and we're adding 7.
Yes.
But I don't understand how that's helping us.
Commission gives us,
For me to explain the detail, it would probably take an hour. But the commission gives us a list of positions that should be filled.
Okay.
So we fill them on a daily basis. So, for example, on tonight's shift, there might be 10 people working and 10 assignments. If somebody calls in, we have to fill that with overtime. This is a position that will have to be filled on the day shift, that we would fill with overtime if we don't have, some shifts we might have 12 people working and only 10 posts because of days off, you have to have a couple extra on every shift. So the shift scheduling is very complicated. But we're going to move a person from an evening shift to a day shift. So we have one more person on a day shift, which would then fill all the positions needed.
For that particular.
Right.
Okay,
But, so the 6 positions that are open, we don't always fill on overtime,
okay.
but we fill them if there's people off on weekends or training and different things. And we have to fill them because we're mandated by the state to fill so many positions within the facility on each shift. And that was when they wrote us up last December because we didn't have enough people doing that particular time. You're welcome. Thank you.
Thank you for that, Mr. Sheriff, and also for explaining it during the committee. Is there any other discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 24 in favor and 0 opposed.
Thank you. Moving now to Resolution HS1 by Legislator Sullivan.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I offer this resolution and encourage its adoption.
Will the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution authorizing reclassification of 1 position and title changes of 3 systems operation positions, Department of Social
Yes,
Services.
Mr. Chairman, the Department of Social Services is seeking to reclassify and retitle certain computer services assistant positions that better align with a program-based operation. Department of Social Services currently utilizes the titles Senior Computer Services Assistant and Computer Service Assistant to support system-related functions within the program. These positions are used in daily operations to support the use of state and local systems workflow processes. The department is restructuring these roles to better align with its program-based operation function. As part of the restructuring, the department will delete the senior position and reallocate those resources to support program operation. This action is cost neutral and requires no additional county funding.
Thank you. Any other discussion? Legislator Burke?
I do have a question. Does this in any way reduce the financial oversight by eliminating the position of senior, I'm sorry, what was it? Senior account position?
Yes. It will be a reduced rate, it will save money.
My concern is whether or not it would actually weaken the financial oversight. Do they have a way of balancing that to make sure that everything is?
I'm not sure, I would ask our Commissioner Lee Sullivan to answer that, please.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear this question, Jan. My question was, does a reduction of the senior account reduce any of the oversight in regards to the financial portions?
No, what we did was we aligned the financial department to be accounts payable and accounts receivable. So we kind of had a system that was halfway there. And so by eliminating that position, we were able to create a full structure that aligns with accounts payable and accounts receivable, which is a cleaner system and function for a finance department.
Okay.
Thank you. Any other discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 24 in favor and 0 opposed.
Thank you. Resolution HS2 by Legislator Sullivan.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I offer this resolution and encourage its adoption.
Will the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution authorizing reclassification of a caseworker position to caseworker supervisor B, Department of Social Services.
Again, the Department of Social Services identified a need for additional upper-level supervision within the Child Protective Services unit to improve case monitoring, state coaching, and support. Currently, there are 2 part-time senior caseworkers closing CPS cases. These 2 positions in caseworker line will be
that adding a case supervisor B is more beneficial for the overall functioning of the CPS unit. The DSS is seeking this upper level position to assist with better monitoring of cases, coaching and support for senior caseworkers and caseworkers. The need for more upper level management continues to grow as regulations change and new programming is implemented to meet state mandates.
Thank you. Any discussion? Legislator Gilson.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, for recognizing me. These positions are in the Child Services arm of social services, are most endangered individuals or potentially endangered individuals, and I would highly recommend that we support this change.
Thank you. Any other discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 24 in favor and 0 opposed.
Thank you. Resolution HS3 by Legislator Solomon.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I offer this resolution and encourage its adoption.
Will the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution authorizing creation of a senior support examiner position and deletion of a senior accountant position, Department of Social Services.
Again, the Department of Social Services has identified a need to strengthen internal structure and supervision within the child support enforcement unit due to ongoing staff turnover. Child support program is currently organized in 3 functional areas: temporary assistance, child support, and recovery. At present, staffing distribution within these areas is uneven, resulting in large caseloads under single supervisory lines and limited capacity to provide consistent training and support to staff. With the creation of the senior support examiner position, it will allow the department to better align staffing within these functional areas by establishing senior level support within each section. The structure will improve workload distribution, provide consistent guidance to staff, and support the development of more formalized training approach within the unit. By strengthening internal support, creating clear structure, the department aims to improve retention, increase efficiency, ensure more consistent case processing across areas of their important child protective program.
Thank you. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 24 in favor and 0 opposed.
Thank you. Resolution HS4 by Legislator Solomon.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I offer this resolution and encourage its adoption.
Will the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution authorizing creation of 2 case manager positions, Department of Social Services.
The Department of Social Services currently utilizes a contracted service with the Salvation Army to provide case management services to individuals with barriers to self-sufficiency, including homelessness and employment challenges. The request of approval to create 2 care management positions within an integrated services economic support division to establish a blended case management and discontinue contracted services with Salvation Army. That contract comes out at the end of July, resulting in annual savings of $29,000. The addition of the 2 in-house managers will allow the department to fully transition away from the current Salvation contract, bringing these functions in-house and align with the department's strategic goal of strengthening internal service capacity while maintaining high-quality support for a vulnerable population. This proposed position is 100% funded with a flexible fund for family services, resulting in no local share impact.
Thank you. Any discussion? Legislator Gilson.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Along with the savings, there's inevitably some savings here with the elimination of some duplication as these cases are being made. I urge its adoption.
Thank you. Any other discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 24 in favor and 0 opposed.
Thank you. Resolution HS5 by Legislator Solomon.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I offer this resolution and encourage its adoption.
Will the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution authorizing modification to a provider contract, Department of Social Services.
Yes, it's from the Division of Mental Hygiene is requesting approval to modify the 2026 Limited Resources Behavioral Health Crisis Intervention Contract to include up to $80,000 in state aid providing remote crisis services to the individuals in Oswego County. The Office for People with Developmental Disabilities has approved a proposal to service, which up till this time was without reimbursement, but we'll get reimbursed. Revenue and expenses are currently budgeted. So up to an additional $80,000 will be passed through to Liberty Resources with their existing contract. The new contract will not exceed $611,452 is 100% funded by state with no local impact.
Thank you. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 24 in favor and 0 opposed.
Yes, and thank you. Legislator Soloway, I found a question. Could you see me after?
Yes.
Thank you. Before we move to economic development, I'd like to mention some news. If you haven't heard, pretty big news in our world. The Novelis plant is back up and running. The hot mill going again. It's arguably our largest employer in our county, so it's very good news that it's back up and running. They in effect laid no one off during this whole thing. They did reship some people, sent some people to other plants and things, but I mean, kudos to them to keep everybody going, and they're back going. Another big item that happened within the last, since our last meeting, New York State Governor, the Senate, the Assembly, I think it's a little bit, not a little bit, a lot, to Senator Ryan. We awarded $13 million towards the Stokers Project, which is our southern Oswego County Regional Interceptor Sewer, going to start town expansion from all the way to the city of Fulton. It's pretty big news for us, and $13 million is well received and much needed, so thank you to that. Having said that, stealing most of Mel's thunder, we'll move to Resolution EP1 by Legislator Jesper.
I forgive you, Mr. Chairman. Okay, Mr. Chairman, I offer this resolution and urge its adoption.
Will the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution accepting grant funds for Oswego-Ville Pathways to apprenticeship to Department of Workforce Development from the New York State Office of Strategic Workforce Development.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, this award is almost $500,000, more than almost $500,000, $484,798. We were able to get this directly because Rachel Pierce, the head of our workforce, was able to check all the boxes that she had to check, but not only that, check them in a timely fashion. Every county has the ability to do this, but not everyone has done everything they were supposed to do. And in fact, counties are looking to Rachel to see her template as to how she gets through all of this in such a timely fashion, so they too can share in this.
Thank you. Any discussion? Legislator Irwin.
I just want to say, she's awesome.
Yes.
She is amazing, and we're lucky to have her.
Thank you, yes, I agree.
Any other discussion on how great she is? Any other discussion on the resolution? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 24 in favor and 0 opposed.
Thank you. Resolution EP2 by Legislator Jesper.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, I offer this resolution and urge its adoption.
Would the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution authorizing funding from unappropriated fund balance to Department of Workforce Development for 2026 Summer Youth Employment Program.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, what this is that we are authorizing $85,000 to come out of our unappropriated fund balance. Last year, this program was fully funded by ARPA funds. And this year, we're hoping that we'll be able to, at the end of the year, to see how much is left, that we'll be able to put it in as well. This is a very important resolution because what it is doing is the state gives us money for the summer youth programs for children that are 200% below the poverty level. The problem is that our future workforce depends on our youth, and we do not want to exclude other youth that are in the middle income, and because those youth will also be able to have the vitally important skills such as early work experience, to knowing how to get there in time, what to dress, how to say this, how to do the spill, career development, and getting them trained to go into it, as well as finally earning their own income, not given to them. It's very important, so I would love this to be with all of our youth. They are our future. We should not limit it simply by the low income.
Thank you. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 24 in favor and 0 opposed.
Thank you. Moving to the Health Department, HE1 by legislator House.
Yes, sir, Mr. Chairman, I offer this resolution and urge its adoption.
Will the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution authorizing budget modification for early intervention transportation.
Yeah, Oswego County is responsible for the provide transportation, enable eligible children. And basically what they did was we needed $15,000, so we had early intervention state aid by $73.50 and unappropriated fund balance by $76.50, total $15,000.
Thank you. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 24 in favor and 0 opposed.
Thank you. Resolution IT1 by legislator Walpole.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I offer the following resolution, recommend its adoption.
Will the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution authorizing the execution of grant for purchase of new pickup truck with plow at the Oswego County Airport.
Yes, as stated, though it says pickup truck with a plow, this is a bit more heavy duty. It's a 5500 series dual wheel truck with a stainless body, salter, and plow system and whatnot. And it's in the truck is $126,119, and we have 95% of that covered under this grant, and the local share in the end will be $3,100.
You can only buy one?
Unless we get another grant.
Thank you. Any discussion? Legislator Walker.
Yes, is it a Ford or a Dodge, and is it come undercoated?
Brandon Hunt, the director, is in back.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear the question.
It's under state bid.
Well, yeah, I understand it, but is it a Ford or a Dodge?
It's a Chevy 55.
Only over the Chevy, okay. Does it come-
5500 series.
Okay. Does it come undercoated, or do we undercoat
It does. It does come undercoated. It's got a stainless steel down body and a
Sure.
Fisher P plow.
Oh, it is a Fisher, good, because all the salt we get around here, it's nice having it undercoated. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 24 in favor and 0 opposed.
Thank you. Resolution IT2 by legislator Walpole.
Mr. Chairman, I offer the following resolution, recommend its adoption.
Will the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution establishing capital project number 0326, Oswego County Airport, purchase a new pickup truck with plow.
Well, as you just heard in the previous resolution, this is establishing a capital project, allowing us to make paper.
Thank you. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 24 in favor and 0 opposed.
Thank you. Resolution IT3 by legislator Walpole.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I offer the following resolution, recommend its adoption.
Will the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution authorizing budgetary modification, Department of Solid Waste, unappropriated fund balance to landfill and transfer station various accounts.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, this is in the amount of $285,000, and this is from within their unappropriated fund balance. Their unappropriated funds. From their own accounts. Actually, it's for various projects ranging from machinery rebuilds to recycling, et cetera, throughout the system.
Thank you. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 24 in favor and 0 opposed.
Thank you. Resolution IT4 by legislator Walpole.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, I offer the following resolution, recommend its adoption.
Will the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution authorizing budget modification, buildings and grounds.
Yes, this is in the amount of $225,000. What this is that we had several issues that were all aware of the water breaks, larger projects, which that exhausted the building and grounds funds. And once the money comes in from the insurance company, it will be returned.
Understood. Thank you. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 24 in favor and 0 opposed.
Thank you. Resolution IT5 by legislator Walpole.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I offer the following resolution, recommend its adoption.
Will the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution authorizing budget modification, buildings and grounds, department to transfer funds from insurance recovery fund into buildings and grounds automated repair budget line.
Yes, this is an insurance recovery from a motor vehicle accident in the amount of $5,734.12.
Thank you. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 24 in favor and 0 opposed.
Thank you. Resolution IT 6 by legislator Walpole.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, I offer the following resolution and recommend its adoption.
Will the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution authorizing budget modification for the highway department to transfer funds from insurance recovery fund into repairs, building, and property, and into building supplies and expenses.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, as we all know, we had the cold storage building collapse, and the insurance money which came in from that is in the amount of $39,891.33. We are asking that it be divided into 2 lines, $10,000 going to building and property, and the remainder into building supplies and expenses.
Thank you. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 24 in favor and 0 opposed.
Thank you. Resolution IT 7 by legislator Walpole.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I offer the following resolution and recommend its adoption.
Will the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution authorizing transfer of regular salaries and wages into overtime payments, maintenance of roads and bridges.
As we all know, the winter we had was quite extensive, and we need to move $135,000 into the overtime budget.
Thank you. Any discussion? Legislator Shaw.
Mr. Chairman, I wish someday we could have a regular budget and not do millions of transfers throughout the year.
I think this was a bit outside.
It's all the time, you know, all the time.
Any other discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 24 in favor and 0 opposed.
Thank you. Resolution IT 8 by legislator Walpole.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, I offer the following resolution and recommend its adoption.
Will the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution authorizing transfer of regular salaries and wages into overtime payments of road machinery.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, as the previous resolution, this is in the amount of $50,000, and this has to do with the mechanic staff as opposed to the road staff.
Thank you. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 24 in favor, 0 opposed.
Thank you. Resolution IT 9 by legislator Walpole.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, I offer the following resolution and recommend its adoption.
Will the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution adopting County of Oswego Local Law Number 5 of 2026 entitled Local Law Amending Local Law Number 4 of 2022 permitting ATV use on certain county roads.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, as we're familiar with in the past, we are opening up some of the county roads to ATV traffic in several different townships, which of course trickles down to each individual township as the ultimate goal of whether or not it's used for ATV.
Yes, thank you. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 24 in favor, 0 opposed.
Thank you.
Thank you. Legislator Martino.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I make a motion to waive the rules for EP3 and EP4 only.
Thank you. Have a second. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Moving then to Resolution EP3 by legislator Chesbro.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, I offer this resolution and urge its adoption.
Will the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution authorizing the acquisition of an easement in connection with the county broadband project, Don R. Hartrat, Howard Road, Town Road.
Yeah, what this is, Mr. Chairman, it's part of our broadband thing. We're having to drill underneath Howard Road to get our fiber and stuff to the NIMO pole. And the NIMO pole happens to be right on the edge of private property. And the individual that owns that property where the pole is situated. They have agreed to give us an easement to the pole for the amount of $1.
Awesome.
Awesome. Very nice.
Thank you. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 24 in favor, 0 opposed.
Thank you. Resolution EP4 by legislator Judbrook.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, I offer this resolution in urgent adoption.
Will the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution fixing time and place for public hearing relative to the request of landowner inclusion within the existing certified agriculture district pursuant to the New York State Agriculture Law, Section 303B as amended.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, what this is, it's an annual public hearing that we need in order to include any farmland that had requested at the Farmland Protection Board that they be included in the agricultural district that we have. And the Farmland Protection Board has met, has reviewed all of the information, and have agreed that these farms do, they qualify, and they would like to be part of it. So we will bring the names up at the public hearing for anyone to say anything against that.
Thank you. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 24 in favor and 0 opposed.
Thank you. Moving to any unfinished business. Any miscellaneous business? Legislator Rito.
Mr. Chairman, sorry, I should have mentioned this during the announcements for special committees from the Transportation Advisory Committee, but Governor Hochul yesterday announced $6 million being awarded to 5 different counties, and we were one of them for innovative mobility initiative funding to help expand public transit services through technology and microtransit services. We got $1.1 million, one of only 5 counties that got it in the state. Just wanted to share some good news. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other miscellaneous business? Looking for the appropriate motion.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Stand adjourned. Public comment period. Legislator Martino. There are. Thank you, sir. Could we have Jensen Lawson come forward? Thank you. If you're new to our procedures here, you take the stand and you have 5 minutes.
Hello. I am here today to speak on a matter that has been quite troubling to me and many others for quite some time. I am talking about the many data centers that OB are already made in the state and especially the community. Data centers are a problem not just in the now, but will affect us many years to come, such as the mass amounts of water being taken each day. On average, data centers use 5 million gallons per day. That's enough water for 50,000 people to consume. And it's also about where the water is coming from. Many data centers take water from city or town utilities, but most of them have been taken from groundwater and water from aquifers. So my question is, what will happen if this continues? Will people that rely on well and groundwater have to buy more once it depletes due to data centers nearby? Another thing about the water is that it's completely unusable after due to the chemical cooling systems. Another thing is the amount of power that is needed to run one of these centers. The average data center uses 240 to 2,400 megawatts per hour. That's enough energy to power 15,000 to 100,000 homes. And think of how all this will be affecting the grids. This can make them worn down, unreliable due to overconsumption and straining. And another thing is, who's paying for all of this? Is it the taxpayers, the ratepayers, or the company? And how will this affect residential electric rates? Will they have to be increased due to overconsumption of energy and power? These are just some of my many issues that are caused by the implementation of data centers. Thank you all for listening.
Thank you. Could we have Jordan Harold Road? Pronounce that correctly? Harold Road. Close enough because you knew how to.
It was close.
I rated chicken scratch, so I'll give you that one.
All right, you have 5 minutes.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Jordan Harglerode, and I appreciate the chance to speak. I'm also here to speak about data centers and to urge the legislature to look into enacting a 5-year moratorium on the construction of data centers. So New York State recently passed, I believe Governor Hochul signed a law, a moratorium for 1 year on data centers. As Legislator Chesbrough pointed out in the Envirothon presentation, we only have one Earth. We only have so much water. And the fact of the matter is that our county is prime real estate for these data centers. We have mass amounts of water being located on Lake Ontario. We have mass amounts of farmland, as we saw from the presentation from the dairy farmers. It quite literally is a Pandora's box with these data centers. We don't know the effects that they have on our environment, on the water that's used to cool them, and more importantly, folks who live around data centers that are already constructed report being unable to sleep due to mass amounts of light pollution, due to the noise that's generated as these data centers operate. Data centers operate, I don't remember the exact decibel, but it is equivalent to being in a room with someone having a conversation. Now that doesn't sound so inconvenient until you realize that that is in your house 24/7. That decreases property owners' property values, all for the creation of a complex that doesn't guarantee jobs. It often is accompanied by these tech companies coming in and requesting massive tax breaks, all for no job creation except for maybe security guards for a night and a day shift, maybe a remote operator who may not even live in our county, let alone our state. We also have the energy infrastructure that would make our county desirable for data centers, especially if we become home to a 4th nuclear reactor. We must protect our land, our people, and our environment from the creation and the impact of these data centers that ultimately go to benefit ultra-wealthy people who have many more zeros in their bank accounts than any member of this community. We have to look out for our citizens and their property values, their quality of life, and more importantly, what we want this county to actually represent and how we want it to develop. The fact of the matter is, I am all for job creation. I am all for bringing in businesses that want to invest in our community, our young people, and our workforce. Mainly because I want an Oswego County where young people like me feel like they can invest themselves and put roots down, because I, quite frankly, love this county. I love the people in this county. I chose to live here, moving here from Livingston County. It's very close to home. But that makes it even more meaningful that I want to get up here and beg you to fight for the people in this county, the people who rely on you. I want to close by saying that government is a series of decisions, and decisions have consequences. And often those decisions that you make as legislators, you may not have to live or suffer those consequences. But the fact of the matter is that your most at-risk constituents do. And so I urge the legislature to please look into some form of moratorium on data centers. Look into how we can protect our county, our resources, and our citizens from being pillaged by unknown technology and from folks who want to come in out of state and use our resources and burn our citizens and our neighbors. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Would Mary Lowe please come forward? Thank you. You have 5 minutes.
this thing? Is it working all right?
Yeah, you can tip that down a little, there you go.
Okay, all right. That was powerful, what you just did. Mine probably won't be that powerful, but it's not totally unrelated. Last week, our country's Agriculture Secretary Rollins claimed in a House hearing that she had pushed more than 3.5 million people off of SNAP, the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program that 15.4% of people in Oswego County rely on to help them get enough food on a regular basis. She seemed pleased to report that there were 5 million fewer Americans on SNAP in just 1 year, thanks, she claimed, to rooting out fraud and saving $187 million. We wonder, I'm speaking for my husband and myself, that's the we wonder if our county legislators know how many in our county lost this help putting food on their table. We worry that small children and some of our elderly have lost access to good nutrition due to being bumped off SNAP, even as Americans are coping with persistent inflation. Oswego County's participation in SNAP is one of the highest compared to all other New York counties, so we should all be concerned. I hope you all know where we rank among counties. It's very high. Is our country so strapped for funds that it has to aggressively go after people on SNAP? Is it true, as some critics have pointed out, that Secretary Rollins is confusing program errors within SNAP for fraud and blaming its recipients? The U.S.-Israeli war on Iran and Lebanon is the least popular war in U.S. history, according to polls. It's an illegal war under both national and international law, and it's costing about $1 billion a day! Exclamation point. And yet, our elected politicians in Congress are mostly unwilling to reflect the will of the people they represent and oppose this war with the growing militarism surrounding it. Many Americans may not know, or they forget, that our country's annual military spending is more than the combined military budgets of the next 9 countries. China and Russia spent 3 to 6 times less than we did in 2024, and now Trump is calling for a massive increase, raising the Pentagon and related agencies to combine budgets of $1.5 trillion. What kind of country expands this kind of military spending, unprecedented in the 8 decades since World War II, while throwing Americans off programs like SNAP when food and gas prices continue to rise? There are other astonishing budgetary actions to consider, like Congress adding $70 billion to an already astonishingly bloated budget of $191 million for ICE and CBP, Customs and Border Control. But for now, Tom and I have to hope that our county and state governments can behave in a far more balanced ways wherever possible. Our country's health, safety nets, infrastructure, and education should not lose ground because of a distant illegal war that our country should never have started.
Do we have Shannon Masters?
Oh, I signed the wrong paper.
Oh, so you chose not to speak?
I chose not to speak.
All right, thank you. Do we have Margaret Melger? Please come forward. Thank you. 5 minutes, please.
Good evening, Chairman Webb, and ladies and gentlemen of the legislature. My name is Margaret Malcolm, and I'm a proud member of the Republican Party. I'm going to start off with reading the Supremacy Clause, which is found in the Constitution of the United States. The Supremacy Clause is found in Article 6, Clause 2 of the U.S. Constitution. And it states, "This Constitution and the laws of the United States which shall be made in pursuance thereof, and all treaties made or which shall be made under the authority of the United States shall be the supreme law of the land, and the judges in every state shall be bound thereby, and anything in the Constitution or laws of any state in the contrary was notwithstanding." So what does this mean? It means federal law overrides any state, county, or local law. Federal law is supreme. Next, I'm going to read a passage from a speech that Vice President J.D. Vance gave on May 24th in response to the Democrats in D.C. voting against the Working Families Tax Cut Act. And he states, "It's not that they want higher taxes, though they do. It's not that they voted against the Working Family Tax Cut Act, though they did. It's not just that they empowered criminals, which is why we saw such high murder rates under Biden's leadership. The problem is they don't think that they fight for you. What makes them passionate, what really makes them fired up, listen to them talk. Did they get fired up about putting more money in your pocket? No. Did they get fired up about supporting our local law enforcement to keep you safe? No. What brings them to tears, what makes them angry, what makes them yell and scream and holler is illegal aliens. If you actually ask, if you actually look, judge them not by what they say, but by what they do and their emotions. What they reveal to you is that they believe they exist on this earth, and they believe that their jobs exist in D.C., not to fight for your jobs, but to fight for illegal immigrants and the fraudsters who get rich from the system. This is not a policy difference. This is a difference in who you represent and who you fight for. Listening to some people in the gallery speak previously shows the same parallel thread. You fight harder for illegals than the honest citizens of this county. You don't seem to care that illegals commit crimes and are not punished. You don't care that illegals are here and contributing absolutely nothing to make our county better. You don't care that billions of taxpayer dollars are supporting unvetted people who do not belong here. You do not support our local sheriff's department. In fact, some of you call Sheriff Hilton a cowboy because he does not run the sheriff's department according to your misguided allegiances to illegals. You want a no collusion clause for the sheriff's department, working with Homeland Security and ICE. Recently, Governor Hochul has stated that the Trump administration will pay a price come November if ICE surges agents in New York. And I quote Hochul saying last Monday, "If they," meaning ICE, "come here and go to New York State with a surge of ICE, there won't be a Republican standing in this state. It will be weaponized against them." Our governor is weaponizing the Democratic Party against the Republican Party in New York State. She's forgotten that the U.S. Constitution rules the land, not her misguided extremist views, as have many of you who support illegals. After some of you called Sheriff Hilton a cowboy, I did some research on cowboy ethics, and this is what I found. It's quite interesting. Cowboys live each day with courage. They take pride in their work. They always finish what they start. They do what has to be done. They're tough, but they're fair. When they make a promise, they keep it. They ride for the brand. Talk less and say more. Remember, some things aren't for sale, and you know where to draw the line. I support Sheriff Hilton and his deputies in the work they're doing keeping the citizens in this county safe. How many of you in the gallery can say the same thing? Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Could we have Jess Madison come forward, please?
Hello, my name is Jessica Madison. I'm here to speak what's not on the agenda. Today, what I go and see is a contract negotiation for CSA union. I currently work at Department of Social Services under this contract, and we have been brought back from our union that a lot of the county legislators are giving no to our contracts. Under this union, it's not only Department of Social Services, it's your 911 dispatchers, your workforce, all the departments I'm seeing on your screen. All of these departments are going without a contract right now, no raises since this year. The no's that were given back were a little insulting. No to longevity, no to June 19th, which is still is federal, and no to Christmas Eve. I have Black Friday off so I can spend shopping with money I don't have, but I can't have Christmas Eve off with my family. The next part was bereavement days. They said no from 3 to 5, and they didn't change the wording, which personally it affected me. 3 years ago, I went time without pay to represent and go to a funeral for my children, who also was a county legislator, because she was not family and she watched my kids during vacation. I used up all my time, and I was hired after 2012, which means I made time less, which also was a no again in the union meetings. I'm sorry, I'm so nervous. I was thrown off. I just came from my daughter's band concert. So again, as an employee, I dedicate my time and I'm insulted by the no's. It's like I said, it's not Department of Social Services, it's your 911, your workforce people who are the backbone and help the community. And what I'm seeing is you're saying no to time earned, so you see it's detrimental if people start taking time off, because we do the jobs that a lot of people say, no, I can't do this, I don't want to do this. We show up every day. It's a thankless job, but we show up. I just really wish you guys could give the gratitude, and Mr. Weatherup, I understand you're going for assemblyman, and I really would just hope you could just show your gratitude to the county and the employees that you represent and push your legislators to get this contract done, because I don't know how much longer they can hold on out there. We are in crisis, we hold it down, but we just want a little bit of appreciation. Not like, again, speaking on Department of Social Services, 911, workforce, public health, all of that, and I just really hope you guys have the time to look at that. That is all I have to say. And I just, if anybody in the union, if you also think that, actually, I should ask the county. As I speak about this department, how do you feel the county, how do you feel we have been addressing emergencies? Are we there? Are we handling them timely? I can say maybe not, because we're very understaffed, because we do have a high turnover rate, because we're not appreciative. We like our job, we just want to have a thank you and a contract here soon. It's gone a very long time without a contract. So please, for everybody, so we don't have to, I know being a union member I can't strike, but we could pick it. And my name is Jessica Madison. It's spelled M-A-T-T-E-S-O-N. So if you have questions, you can email me, message me on Facebook, because at this point someone has to do something for the county. Nothing happens with somebody sitting in the back not asking questions. I have no problem with leadership. I have a problem with broken contracts and broken policies. But the leaders don't mind questions. So I'm just asking the hard questions, and I really hope you guys can find the answers. I love my job. I want to stay at my job. And I encourage everybody to come out and see what we really do there. Have a good night.
Thank you. Could we have Sharice Wills come forward?
I'm gonna pass.
You pass.
Thank you.
Thank you. Evan Guglielmo.
Leon.
You can see that. Thank you. You have 5 minutes.
Good evening, legislators. I'm here because we have a crisis in Oswego County that we are currently treating with a Band-Aid. I'm talking about our disconnected youth, who are the young people ages 16 to 19 who are not in school and are not working. In Oswego County, roughly 14% of our young people, 16 to 19, are neither in school nor employed. That is not just a statistic, it is a siren. It means 14% of our future tax base is currently sitting still on the sidelines. We often congratulate ourselves on the programs we have in place. We point to OCWNY and the WIOA as if they are the solutions. But I am here to tell you that for a young person living in the reality of Oswego County poverty, these programs are often a bridge to nowhere. They aren't working because they are built for people who already have a life, not for those trying to start one. We need to wake up to the fact that we are charging a workforce entry fee that our youth cannot pay. First, we have built a system of reimbursement. This is the height of bureaucratic disconnect. We tell a 19-year-old with $3 in his pocket that if he buys $150 work boots, we will pay him back in a month. Think about that. If he had the $150, he wouldn't be in the program. Asking a kid in poverty for a receipt before you give him help isn't a benefit, it's a barrier. Second, we are ignoring our own geography. A bus pass is a piece of paper that doesn't mean anything when you live in Williamstown or Redfield and your shift starts at 6 a.m. In this county, a car isn't a luxury, it's a prosthetic. Without it, you're paralyzed. Our current programs don't fix alternators, they don't buy tires, they don't provide gas money for the 2 weeks before that first paycheck. We are essentially telling these kids, you're hired, now find a way to teleport to work. Third, we have ignored what laborers call the 90-day cliff. The hardest time in a person's life is the first 3 months of a job when you are finally earning money, but you're still drowning in the debt of being unemployed. One flat tire, one late utility bill, one sick child, and the whole house of cards falls down. Most of our youth wash out in these 90 days. They don't quit because they don't want to work. They quit because they cannot afford the cost of showing up. When we see that 14% number, we shouldn't ask, what's wrong with them? We should ask, what's wrong with our system? We are currently spending thousands of dollars to train people for jobs they literally cannot afford to keep. We are pouring water into a bucket with a hole in the bottom and wondering why it won't fill up. I am not here to ask for a handout. I am asking for a smarter investment in workforce retention, one that recognizes the real barriers between training and stability. I am asking this body to consider a local workforce bridge fund or a similar pilot program designed to cover the critical early gaps, transportation, work readiness costs, and emergency stabilization during the first 90 days. If we solve that gap, we don't just reduce this statistic, we stabilize the workforce and strengthen the tax base this county depends on. Let's give them the tools to work and let's give them a reason to stay in this county. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Do we have Patrick Shalom? Thank you. 5 minutes, please.
I was going to talk about the data centers too, and a lot of what I was going to cover was covered already, but I just wanted to touch on the amount of power that these data centers take. And just because of AI and the advancement of that, when you used to do web search, and now you do it in AI takes 1,000 times more electricity than your web searches you used to do. So we all want to know, how come our bills went up, over this past year? And some of ours, gas and lights from National Grid have doubled. Well, all this power that used to be bought at low rates and stuff to bring into New York State is now going to these data centers like in Virginia, Texas, and California. So all I really, want to say is, can we afford to have a data center in New York State? I don't think so. Thank you.
Thank you. Could we have Larry O'Brien please come forward?
Yep. Thanks. Cautionary tale coming off, but for those who wonder why, the great big beautiful bill affected so many, and the likes of waste, fraud, and abuse, securing these warehouses that put immigrants in. ICE purchased $1 million square foot warehouse in Social Circle, Georgia, for $128 million, valued at previously year $29 million. No improvements to it. Roxbury, New Jersey, $129 million, valued at $62 million by local authorities. Surprise, Arizona, $48 million, $70 million for a tax records value of 70. Goes on and on. So just to address the people here, private prison corporations, vast majority, or 90%, are taking care of these ICE facilities. And when you've got now what you're hearing now a lot is about election integrity, and that's coming. Primaries are a week and a half away, and what's happening in November is going to be impactful for the country. And yet we're hearing a lot about election integrity. President Trump just had a big thing about that. So I'm at a point where, I plan on working the election. I'd like to see things run smoothly. But with the likes of, what's coming, I don't think it's going to be smooth. And this is where it kind of runs afoul of the constitutional sheriffs. I spoke about them last time here. Constitutional Sheriffs and Peace Officers Association. Lewis County Sheriff here received an award from the Oath Keepers, from Stuart Rhodes. He's had conversations with them. That type of thinking is affecting law, is directed towards, propagated by Republican spending, dark money spending. It's directed at law enforcement. And they're coming to try to come up with this idea that election integrity needs to be addressed. And it's already happened out in California, Riverside, California. The local sheriff there in February confiscated all these ballots, 650,000 ballots on, because somebody wanted to have wanted to throw a monkey wrench into it. And that's what happens. And their famous quote was, all we need is one judge to go along with it, and they found one. So again, Mr. Rhodes, he was one of those convicted of seditious conspiracy. Now, he's the one who gave the award to one of our New York State Sheriff's Association's fellows, and there are others that are believing like this. We're at a point where this fella, he's going to get, he was sentenced to 23 years in prison, got let out by the Trump administration, and now it may be being reimbursed for it. But that was reported by the TV7 in Watertown and North Country Public Radio. So I just want to read you another sheriff, his response when they tried to get the Second Amendment sanctuary for his county. He said to his constituents, and this was gotten through a Freedom of Information. Hello, sir. It should not surprise us, but as we know, they, meaning their people, are still alive and waiting for the right moment. I pray that people wake up and realize that evil is hiding in plain view. Through the socialist candidates that have infiltrated all political parties, we will prevail, but not without a fight. It will not be done. It will be done with faith, education, elections, and force when necessary. So this is what's happening. This type of thinking spreads like a disease, and they think that constitutional sheriffs think that they are the supreme leader in their county, that they determine the constitutionality of laws. And I'm just putting it out there as a cautionary tale. Should be able to deal with it through oversight if something does come up. Thanks.
Thank you. Could Randy Wilkinson please come forward? Thank you. 5 minutes, please.
Good evening. The communities we call home were built by generations of people who believed enough in the future to invest in it. Now it is our turn to make the same investment for the next generation. We often talk about building a stronger Oswego County through economic development, building, housing, infrastructure, and workforce growth. These priorities matter, but the investment that will shape our county for the next 50 years is an investment in our children. If we want a stronger Oswego County tomorrow, we must be willing to strengthen the support systems around our children now. Every student sitting in a classroom today represents the future of this county. They are our future workforce, future business owners, future teachers, future nurses, future first responders, and future community leaders. That's why I'm asking the legislature to establish 2 voluntary county-funded programs available to every school district in Oswego County. The first is funding for school resource officers through the sheriff's existing resource officer program. The second is funding for school-based social workers. Together, these programs create an environment where students can thrive. Social workers provide support before problems become crises. They help students navigate challenges at home, struggles with mental health, and the pressures that increasingly affect young people today. Too many families are facing economic hardship, substance abuse, and mental health challenges. School social workers help ensure that children don't have to face those struggles alone. For many students, a school social worker may be the first trusted adult they can turn to when life becomes overwhelming. That support can make the difference between a child falling behind and a child finding a path forward. School resource officers provide much more than just safety. They are integral parts of the school community. They provide mentorship, help students develop positive relationships with law enforcement, and help address concerns before they escalate. When students feel safe, they can focus on learning, growing, and reaching their full potential. Central Square already provides school resource officers in every school, which are beloved members of our district. Moving these officers from employment under the Village Police Department to the Oswego County Sheriff's Office would provide them with more competitive compensation, access to more comprehensive training, and stronger connections to the many resources available through the Sheriff's Department. This ultimately strengthens the support they provide to our students, staff, and families. Most importantly, these investments would allow school districts to focus more of their limited resources on their core mission, education. They should not have to choose between educational opportunities and the support services that help students succeed. This is where the county government can make a meaningful difference. By partnering with our schools, we can help ensure that every district has access to the tools it needs to create safe, supportive learning environments for students and staff. The return on this investment will not be measured in budgets or balance sheets. It will be measured in students who receive help when they need it, schools that are better equipped to support their communities, and young people who are prepared to build their lives right here in Oswego County. If we are serious about building a stronger future for Oswego County, there is no better place to start than by investing in the children who will one day lead it. Thank you, Chairman Weatherup, for the opportunity to advocate for our Red Hawks once again. And for everybody here, we should be out here supporting every student in Oswego County. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you. Would Jim Cannon please come forward? Thank you. 5 minutes, please.
Yeah, I may have done this once or twice before. Thank you. Chairman, ladies and gentlemen, talk about public service. Let's talk empathy versus apathy. Empathy is the action of understanding, being aware of, being sensitive to, and vicariously experiencing the feelings, thoughts, and experiences of another. Empathy is the ability to emotionally understand, share, and experience another person's feelings or perspectives, often described as putting yourself in someone else's shoes. It bridges the gap between individuals allowing for genuine emotional connection. And what's apathy? A lack of feeling or emotion. The term originates from the ancient Greek word apatheia, which it means without, and pathos meaning emotion or suffering. Therefore, apathy literally means without feeling. Common synonyms: indifference, detachment, lethargy, passivity, dispassion. So if we say we have one of the poorest counties in the state and do nothing about it, that's not empathy, that's reporting a statistic. If we talk about the number of homeless people in the county, then do nothing about it, that's not empathy, that's apathy. Especially when there's money in the unappropriated fund balance and dozens of empty positions in DSS, some of them have been open for almost 2 years. We talk about people like they're animals and don't correct those that do. We're not showing empathy. We're apathetic at best. And yes, I mean people in this legislature. If we say we have no money for child care or food insecurity, but then we justify spending $35,000 to wrap a race car by saying we have $800,000 in the budget, we are distinctly apathetic to how people in our county make $35,000 a year and don't see you trying to make their life better. If you don't understand why apathy is important as a public servant, you're in need of a new job. If some of us continue to accept unacceptable behavior by members of the Sheriff's Department and their treatment of people as evidenced by certainly released videos, we're apathetic to an unacceptable level. If you believe people who have principles and refuse to do things the easy way are weak, you have no idea what public service means. If you've been shaking your head and muttering while I've been speaking, you definitely do not understand apathy. And as someone who does, I truly feel sorry for you and believe you need a new vocation and have no place in government. Now, I'm going to add a couple things I wasn't planning on. Let's talk about HS2. If I was asking a question, I would have said, is the person giving up any of their current duties when they're taking over a supervisory role? As a person who owned a business for 15 years and a nurse for 30, you know what makes people want to leave? When you give them a title, you pay them a little more money and you expect twice as much out of them. That's not sustainable. How about the IDA? We talked about Novelis today. The IDA gave $15 million to Novelis so they wouldn't leave. That's $7.5 million out of the county's pockets. They weren't going to leave. Okay? Mobility funds. I hear people talking all the time about mobility, how proud they are. They should be. But I also wish they would talk about how the fact that a majority of that money is given by the state, the people they want to complain about 90% of the time. I still haven't heard anybody explain to me from last month all the things that the county does for the homeless, which part of that's county, which part of that's state. Because I guarantee you about 80 to 90% of it is. And so there's no confusion for anybody in the room. I called the sheriff a cowboy. In my experience, cowboys are not dependable. They do whatever they want and they damn the consequences. So I don't want anybody confused about that. In fact, my article was going to be called Yippee-Ki-Yay, Cowboy Hilton, and they changed the letter of the end. Thank you.
Thank you. Could we have Chance Kennedy come forward?
Good evening. So my name is Chance Kennedy. I was already up here once today. So I'm a member, obviously, of Oswego County, and I'm also a member of the Oswego County Council. I'm speaking tonight because I am increasingly concerned about language being used when referencing immigrants, refugees, and asylum seekers in our community, especially one a couple speakers ago had spoken about. Over the last several months, I've listened to residents express concerns about public safety, and these concerns deserve to be heard and addressed. But I've also met immigrants, refugees, and asylum seekers who are trying to build better lives for themselves and their families. These conversations remind me that we do not have to choose between safety and compassion. We can and should pursue both. I work closely with immigrant and refugee populations in my professional life. I have met these individuals and families. They are not statistics, talking points, or political slogans. They are human beings. They are parents, children, workers, students, neighbors, and members of our community. I am particularly troubled by the use of the word illegals. That word is not only inaccurate, it is dehumanizing. Human beings are not illegal. We can have discussion about immigration policy, border security, visas, asylum, claims, and enforcement. Those are legitimate public policy concerns, debates. But we should we should not reduce people as a label that strip away their humanity. Many refugees and asylum seekers arrive in the United States through legal processes. I know that's a fact, and I know a lot of people don't like facts in this room, so that's a fact. They undergo extensive vetting and background checks and are often supported by federally recognized resettlement agencies as they begin rebuilding their lives. To characterize these individuals as criminals simply because of where they were born or because they are seeking refuge in the United States, sometimes because of a genocide perhaps, or a civil war in their country, is unfair and inconsistent with the values of dignity and respect that should guide public service. Public safety is strengthened when people trust government institutions. When vulnerable communities fear that they will be targeted, labeled, and treated as less than human, that trust is damaged. We should be building bridges, not barriers. I believe Oswego County can be safe and welcoming. We can uphold the law while also treating people with dignity. Those principles are not mutually exclusive. As the late Congressman John Lewis often reminded us, there are times when we must get into good trouble. Speaking out against language that dehumanizes our neighbors is, in my view, exactly that kind of good trouble. Thank you for your time.
Could we have Patty Famelo please come forward? Thank you. 5 minutes, please.
Good evening, I'm Patty Famelo. I live in the town of Oswego. It's been a particularly wonderful night here tonight. I think we've got a lot of great speakers, and I thank the young people that came. I'm sick of seeing people with my color hair. So thank you. Chance, that was amazing. And I applaud so many of the speakers today. And I think we're talking about integrity in public service. And I want to bring that closer to home here because I think there is a power struggle that sometimes goes on that is not acknowledged. And Chance tried to tap into, people that have no power, like the immigrants that are here and are afraid and cannot call law enforcement like our sheriff because of the fear that they have. And that is a problem. And women and disenfranchised people, I have white privilege, right, like most of you. We've not had to worry many times as a woman, maybe you didn't get the promotion. Those kinds of things have happened to you. The people that are trying to get justice from the Epstein debacle, that's a power inequity, right? So I think as public servants, what I would ask all of my legislators here is you are on watch for what is happening in Oswego County. So I've talked about the sheriff many times, I'm not going to go into it, but I would love to hear him respond to the new legislation, the new state legislation that addresses many of the current concerns we've had in the no collusion policy. And I know that we tried, some legislators tried to bring that forward. They were told it was too late, even though there were only 3 resolutions on public safety. So that was sort of a power inequity, right? The Democrats, Republicans had more power. So yesterday in the paper, I saw something that just kind of didn't sit too well with me. And it was about a woman in our community who was arrested and charged with 8 felonies having to do with voter fraud. So this is very unusual, even though I know the Trump administration says it's rampant. The statistics do not bear that out. But yet, our district attorney is going to personally handle this case of a woman who is an open government advocate. And she comes to many meetings like this one and talks about transparency, freedom of information. And she's done that here and in many of our town and village meetings. This woman was arrested a couple years ago because she had a disagreement with the town supervisor in New Haven. She spent a night in jail. Her case was personally handled at that time by the district attorney. and that case was dismissed. Now the district attorney is personally handling the voter fraud case against her. Now, I'm not an attorney. I don't know all the intimate details of those charges. I just know they're very unusual. From what I can tell so far, it's not a violent crime. No one's property was damaged. The woman in question, I don't believe, has a criminal history. So to me, there's something about it doesn't set right with me. And all of you as legislators, I would just hope that you're maybe looking out for those power imbalances that erode public integrity as public officials. Thank you.
Thank you. Could we have Paul McKinney come forward, please? Thank you. 5 minutes, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you. I'm Paul McKinney, and I'm here tonight representing Indivisible Oswego County. Before I speak, I just want to acknowledge the 2 young men from Phoenix who spoke tonight. You all need to know also that these 2 fellows, along with 2 of their colleagues, recently formed a nonpartisan student committee in their school, and they've had, I think, 4 or 5 meetings so far, guys, right? Where they're invited, yeah. Nonpartisan, right, guys? You got it, okay. And they're inviting their fellow students, and they have an advisor and the whole 9 yards, and that's inspiring. Just totally inspiring, guys. Thank you so much. I want to just kind of be a little reflective tonight and talk about some things that I've been thinking about, maybe some of you have. One of them that popped up a couple days ago is that I think that most of us here can acknowledge that we were brought up to believe in a lot of important principles. One of those is knowing the difference between right and wrong. It isn't really complicated, but I know for myself it was a difficult lesson growing up. But now we're all adults, and it's because of that basic expectation that we learn to behave at home, at work, at play, and even here at the county legislature. And while none of us are perfect, we learn something else if we stay true to that principle, that more good happens than bad. Friendships strengthen, communities grow, trust deepens, and leadership becomes real. But today we're living in a really, really difficult, horrible time, aren't we? And that moral compass has been tossed aside. Donald Trump either didn't learn it or he's just choosing to ignore it. After 17 months of being in office, all we have to do is be truthful with ourselves. Can anyone here tonight say that anything that that man has done or said is good? I'll take that as a no. There's another old saying, silence is golden. And when I think of that, I think of my mom, who when she was entering her upper 90s, she used to say, oh yes, silence is golden. But then she would add, but they don't tell you about all the tarnish around the edges, do they? And she was right. Silence is not golden when people are hurting. Silence is not golden when corruption is spreading all over. And silence is not golden when our democracy is being torn apart
at the seams. More and more Americans and county residents are feeling the consequences of that, aren't they? And because silence is not the remedy, silence is really surrender. Those of us who've been coming to these meetings for the last, 16 months, some have been attending some of the standing committee meetings, and on occasion, like tonight, people come and talk publicly here at this podium. I myself have been asking, where's the Republican leadership while all of this has been happening? It seems as though you're awfully silent. And unfortunately, when some of you have spoken, it's either been with incorrect information or embarrassing. So I will remind you tonight that silence isn't golden. We need to stand up. We need to speak out. We need to speak our truth. Because what has happening right now in our country by this administration is not right. Thank you.
Thank you. I'd like to welcome you all back on July 9th.